What's going on, brother?
Nothing much. I just kind of laughed that shit off.
Yeah, Julian Vargas, is he in Temple of Night or something?
I don't know. He commented on someone's talked shit about a few O9A nexions, and then he just went and named all the different. Julian commented saying, "No one here commented mentioning yada 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 yada." He threw in his Temple of Night and Res Satanae though in the middle of all that,
Hmm.
and Temple of the Black Vampire, which Temple of the Black Vampire is fucking anti-cosmic. It's not O9A.
You
I
know,
said I wouldn't call Res Satanae O9A. Res Satanae is its own thing, and I love it. I do need to read AMSG, though.
I do have AMSG right here, and I tell you, Julian Vargas may be wrong, but he's not like a complete disaster in like calling that. Like it talks about committing acts of evil in Satan's name, as opposed to like Temple of the Black Light. You're just like putting bones and stuff on an altar to Cain. Like this talks about like evil. Let me find this passage. This is really beautiful here. Okay.
Just talking about like evil and being sinister, that alone is not equal O9A, though.
Exactly. Like Order of the Nine Angles does not own copyright insight rolls. If I do an insight roll, like that's not copyrighted by the Nine Angles. Anyone can do an insight roll. Anyone can infiltrate and subvert an organization.
Not to mention, pure O9A itself doesn't really believe in good and evil. They believe in amorality, but not immorality.
Oh
There's a
yes.
difference.
Oh yes. The
They believe in
Numinous.
being sinister for practical reasons, not arbitrary, just fucking evil and all that. And yes, I understand that there is some O9A affiliation and that Temple of Night who mixes flip-off with O9A are influenced by him, but that makes it its own thing. It's distinct. I was trying to convey that pure O9A does not work with fucking Shabbath,
Yeah.
because that's, according to an O9A purist, Res Satanae would be Magian or Magian and not fucking
Absolutely.
O9A and all that.
I'm trying to find. So you know I knew I'm trying to find this, but it says right here that the crucifixion of the Nazarene. I don't believe in the Nazarene was orchestrated by the devil himself. I'm trying to find it. This is pretty evil book. I mean, I can feel the darkness coming right off the pages. Right here.
Oh
We,
yeah.
of course, never forget the ecstatic feeling when we experienced while we were hunting down the chosen victim. But above all, we do not forget whom we did this and for whom we have sculpted ad ungunum an absolute devotion. We are connected with the human world via our robust arteries, for we want to flood mankind with waves of our boiling fresh blood to create a long river of black blood as dark as the most impenetrable night. By trampling on the friable laws, we can wring a curtain down on the snow of the created world. This must be a curtain of living shadows announcing the end of the human tragicomedy. Page 17.
And I
Page
go into it
19.
more again. It talks about Abaddon. It
Mm-hmm.
talks about Nema, MIL.
Mm-hmm.
None of that is O9A. That's all fucking
Exactly.
AGA or Clipotic.
Yeah. I'm looking for this though. It's a very militar. So far, it's a very militaristic satanic book. It talks about it describes Satan's army, and it uses like Roman terminology like phalanxes and stuff like that. It's very cool. And there's this one passage there. It's
I mean, just because it's militant
I
doesn't make
know,
it O9A.
I know, it doesn't
Even
make it.
Temple of Blood. Temple of Blood's closer to O9A than Res Satanae.
Yeah,
Temple of Blood will tell you they're not O9A.
Temple of Blood. Well, really, I didn't know that. I thought Temple of Blood admitted they were like an American O9A.
They're inspired by it and they're influenced about it, but they consider themselves a different thing. They have slightly differing agendas. Because O9A, in its purest form, wants a galactic imperium to evolve humanity into a new sinister species. But Temple of Blood
Mm-hmm.
is totally just fucking anti-human and talks about becoming not the next stage in human evolution, but just evolving into something completely, in no way, shape, or form human.
Yeah.
because it is a human.
Yeah, I have Iron Gates and I just ordered Bluebird, so I haven't
I
fe-
don't have Iron Gates. I have False Prophet Volume 4 and I have Liber 333.
Yeah, Iron Gates is pretty entertaining though. You'd like to read it. I don't want to spoil it, but like they do some fucked up shit right from the get-go. Like they false interrogate some guy and they wanted to test him to see if he'd tell the truth. And he told them what he wanted. He told them what his interrogators wanted to hear, and he's in the organization. He told his interrogators what they wanted to hear, and they're like, "Why did you fucking lie to us?" And then it gets so much worse for him from there.
I
It,
know
it
there's a
was,
part in the book where like a little girl or something gets like a sodomized in a cave full of baby skulls or something.
yeah. Oh yeah.
I feel
So
like I feel like Temple of Blood isn't exactly what they claim to be. They claim to be way bigger and way more serious than they are. I think
yeah,
it's half true. It's half true and half of it's made up for fucking shock value because
yeah.
they want to be the boogeyman.
Want to be like Star Wars or something. But
Yeah.
no, I have respect for
I'm
him
not.
though. I'm friends with
I'm
J.S.
not
Hoy,
against the
and
whole
she
dictator shit. I'm not against the whole serial killer shit and all that. But let's be real. Their WordPress has almost nothing insightful. It's just it takes more to be satanic than to just like fucked up shit. Like I'm sorry, putting a gray alien, Adolf Hitler, Jim Jones, and fucking Kim Jong Il on an altar, I don't consider that satanic. I consider that edgy and autistic. I'm very close to the spectrum. I was just short of being diagnosed, and I have an autistic brother. I'm not saying that as an insult. I'm just saying effectively it just looks like fucking immature edge.
Absolutely. And as I was saying though, like I still have my respect for Temple of Blood. I
Oh, they have their insights.
yeah,
They
I'm
have some
friends
good
with J.S.
things,
Hoy,
but I
and
don't drink too much of their Kool-Aid.
I want to let you know, J.S. Hoy sent me a copy of Demo Gorgon when Amazon pulled it from circulation. I placed my order with them on Amazon before they closed the circulation, but Amazon ended up canceling my order. So J.S. Hoy sent me a copy for
Who goes to
$20.
anyways, though?
Yeah, the I contacted her and I'm like, hey, Amazon canceled my order. I'm like, okay, yeah, we can send you a copy for $20. I'm like, thank you.
By
And
the way, I'm convinced J.S. Hoy is that Jake Belita, Debbie Dossie chick, and that her real name is Jillian Hoy, and I'm convinced that she's a Temple of Blood mistress. I know for a fact she's married or was married to a guy who was in an NS organization in my state that was in open contact with the North Korean government and posting propaganda. Yep.
many respect and hails for her if that is true. That is badass.
Yep. That's
Anyway,
just my suspicions and stuff. I'm pretty sure. I haven't directly. I have no reason to question about it.
I had a dream before where I think I heard what her real name was or what the JS stands for. But anyway, back to AMSG. Here's what Liber Secundus has to say about God. When the heavens say man, this really means service. Indeed, God created Adam from clay, but endowed him with a slavish soul. Mud mixed with blood is the best description of human being. Nonetheless, the soul is burdened with a corpse, is supposed to be the crown of God's creation. On the forehead of man and all of his slavish tribes is engraved a mark of shame, a mark of disgrace and dishonor. It is the indelible stain of a plague. Human existence is most refined manifestation of slavery, with consequence that man is absolutely dependent on God. The so-called freedom of man is in fact a gilded chain which is bound from his tight collar to a ring firmly fixed on the stable and massif of God's ambition. This is complicity. The so-called free will of man doesn't have possibility of an alternative scenario. The pleasures of paradise may be preferred to the sufferings of hell. Metamorphosis is only conceivable as incarnations into angelic countenance, for the heavenly ranks and divine hierarchies are obliviously inaccessible to mankind. Divine grace is expressed in everything and only in one way, the torture of suffocation instead of bloodshed. Promises, promises, always promises, but the whip only. There are unlimited possibilities promised after death. But in the realm of death, no one will be able to wrest man from the firmly hands of God. No one, except the devil, in wrath, who, when he descends from his throne, will pierce the heavenly spheres, to make them flowing down on the earth. The Son of God suffered defeat in the hands of the devil during his crucifixion, which was orchestrated by the devil himself. He gave hopes and new promises to mankind in talking about the forthcoming kingdom of light, which the slaves will find a well-deserved peace and by whom the devil shall be destroyed. However, there are pure ideology and vain hopes. It is simply to feed the people's hopes when they have to hold their last struggle to reach a paradise of poor quality. Funnily enough, the elusiveness of these promises doesn't hurt their sick soul. On the contrary, the defeat of realities which have been bled to death reinforces the machinery of this autocracy and strengthens their slavish blood already bound to their master. Mankind is a slave of an eternal God who will reward everyone with both an immortal heart and gratitude for the submission to him, and with a resigned despair because of the snares being in an image of him, a cocktail of mud and blood mixed with mire. Miry soul is the best image of humility and resignation for two reasons. Firstly, they're reflecting in the bottomless mirrors of the universe. Secondly, they may express the inexpressible sufferings caused by a being in the image of God who has never blended his self-sufficiency with the pitiful mortality of man. Man couldn't love God sincerely, because his love is just a manifestation of narcissism projected onto God. Man, as likeness, imports only flaws into the original shape, for the honor of the Creator, who did not stay in debt. The fact of being the image of God condemns ironically mankind to the shoulder of burden of his degeneracy. The boundaries of responsibility and doing actions of God end up crushing the cavity of human soul into many melted fragments. Those are like ravening dogs devouring each other. The fragments are personified relentlessly, which represents the pliable symbols of disharmony.
That was resonating with me quite well. It seems to overlap with some shit it says in the Devil's Quran.
Yeah, I have the Devil's Quran, but it's been like a year since I read it because I got it in like 2015.
I read through it pretty much religiously. I love the Devil's Quran.
I love Demo Gorgon. I read sometimes I'll open up the book and I'll look at the Armade Moro engravings, like just like Albert Dury paintings or something. I'll look at them religiously, and sometimes, I'll read Scriptum Maleficorum to myself before doing a ritual, or sometimes I'll just do the grounding rite and then start a ritual like that. I use I basically have this sinister lesser banishment ritual, the pentagram, but instead of the archangels, I invoke Lucifer for the east, Asmodee or Azazel for the south, Urians or Molech for the west, and Belial for the north.
Yes, before citing Scriptum Maleficarum, if you combine that with Implication 1 in the Devil's Quran, you'll get potent results. Someone's calling me. I'll call you back at some point.
Okay, thanks, brother. You care if I save this video? I've recorded. I've recorded this. You care if I put it on my YouTube channel or something? I just want this.
Sure.
I want this information to get out there. Is all. Hail Satan.
Hail Satan.
Sixes.
I'll catch you.
Yep. Bye.